what the Republicans have been doing this entire time is basically they've been doing lots of horrible things, basically to try and get one over. Mostly it's because Nixon, JFK was lying from the beginning. John McCain has been lying from the beginning, basically. And pretty much what the Republicans have been doing to the United States and all governments basically what they do is they cut back a program or cancel a program, but then they go ahead and charge the people the money anyway. So in other words, they'll draft up a plan saying new roads throughout America, blah 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 blah, and then they'll initiate it or they'll be going to initiate it. And then basically what they do pretty much is to the people they say, oh well, it didn't pass, or oh well, we can't afford it, so we're not going to do it. They still charge the same amount to the tax company as if the program was actually done and is being done. But they don't do the program. They just pocket the money. That would go for the new roads. So they'll pass a bill saying new schools or whatever, blah, 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 some big budget. And then they'll be like, oh, well, there's actually not enough money in the budget, so we're going to have to cut that back. So what they do is they basically tell the schools that the money's not coming, blah, blah, the money's not there. And then they basically just, there's a spot, the Skunk Works actually, I believe, actually acted as this, basically. The checks would go to an intermediate spot, and they would go and cash those checks. And then they would write a new check and give that check to the school and pocket the difference. And they've been doing this the entire time. I believe it was the Harvard kids or something like that. There's a reason why the Maltese Falcon, Harvard or Yale or Oxford, or one of the schools basically. And it all centers around JFK, Nixon, and the frats. Basically, they would go and give young kids new things. You know how the frat groups are so popular, blah, 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 and the frat groups have all the nice houses, and the frat groups have all the wild parties? That's because what they were doing is they would go to the sheriff's office or the different offices, and they would be like, oh, well, we're from blah, 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 and blah, 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 and we're going to audit all your things, okay? Yeah, you don't really need bulletproof vests. We're just going to cut that. You're in a what's called zone, so we don't think you really need that. So sorry, you can't do that. We're going to cut that off your budget. Yeah, we're going to save the taxpayers money. Yeah. And then they'll go to the taxpayers saying, oh, we're going to save you all this money. But the checks are still cashed. The police departments just don't get the bulletproof vests. This came to a head when someone actually did an investigation, and their dad had died because he wasn't wearing a bulletproof vest. Now, people know that I gave bulletproof vests to police departments. They know how I would run the government. I ran the Germany the same way. Officers of the law, my security people get bulletproof vests. It's in the budget, and it's in the budget. But they were considering rural areas as non-threatening or blah, blah, blah. So what they were doing, and they were actually even going so far as actually killing officers in the rural area, because officers were actually going and actually doing the checking up themselves, and they were noticing that the budgets were the same. The money's still going out, because cops talk. So the money was still going out, but they weren't getting the money at the office. And they were even noticing a difference in the checks. They looked the same, but they were going to an intermediary account and then going to the individual police departments. But I do things a different way. I just simply did ordering. Because I do everything in-house. I own the bulletproof company. I mean, the bulletproof vest company is my company. It's a Lusifer White Star Line company. Same with the guns. I own the largest gun manufacturer in the world. I am Lucifer Star, inventor of guns and shells. So anyway, I just simply would be shipping the stuff to my people, which gave them another problem of the fact that they had to resell all this stuff and then get their money. So basically, JFK, Nixon, and a bunch of supposed senators and Republicans and blah, blah, blah had this whole big problem. I wasn't actually giving money to my people. I was giving them stuff. My people had invented the stuff, and therefore were manufacturing it. So, anyway, though, it's this whole big problem. And then they had to go and sell all that stuff, or blah, 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 or trade it. Anyway, like I say, I don't really care. I'm Lucifer White Star Line. 800 galaxies, 12 galaxies, 12 types of life forms, massive, invented everything at least 400 or 120 times, and had time travel, and so do my 1.5s, and so do my exoskeletons. And they were in existence about 1 billion years before endoskeleton life forms ever came along, or at least the human race. So, anyway, like I say, I don't really care. But some people have a lot of problems. Anyway, I'm also the leader of the filming studios, as I owned and had filming and movies being made in Russia. Eventually, I moved that over to Hollywood, and that's why the I Love Lucy. Like I said, people used to call me Lucy sometimes. It's short for Lucifer, so. Which is why Ricardo might have been like, Lucy, you have some explaining to do. So little in-jokes there everywhere. Anyway, like I said, my actors at times had to do things for me because they knew the way things were supposed to be, maybe. So, like I said, actors talks, people saw the films, people knew about the recording of the history of the earth, blah, blah, blah. So things didn't fit, things didn't look right. Why would I move my movie studio from Russia to California or America? Like I said, truthfully, I was bringing all my people closer to me because I couldn't protect them out there in the world. At some point in time, my teams were getting taken out, my heads of staff were being killed, and I knew this. So I was consolidating everyone into one country, basically, because I couldn't protect them all over the world. Of course, America could also get carpet bombed, but it's at a strategic advantage. So it's safer in America than it is out there in the rest of the world. Anyway, I don't really know. I don't really care. JFK, Richard Nixon, John McCain, 30 clones, and a whole bunch of lying, and a whole bunch of killing, and a whole bunch of death, and a whole bunch of trying to keep other life forms, including 5 space wars and all kinds of things, just to try and get to me to kill me. Because like I said, they couldn't exist for 150 million years. I was gone from the Earth for over 1 billion years one time. So, anyway. And lots of people and lots of life forms in the universe thought I was dead or gone or something. I don't know. Or someone else was actually me. Like I said, Jimmy Carter is not me. If you see someone else saying that they're Lucifer Starline, and they do not look like me, they are not me. They have never been me, never will be me. Jimmy Carter wanted to put me inside his body, and like I say, I was like, no, get away from me, you psycho! He was a psycho piece of shit. I don't know if he was acting or pretending or trying to frame me or something like that or whatever, but he was trying to shove my consciousness inside of his little stupid piece of shit body, and I was like, no! Ah! Denied. So, anyway, I got really angry. And he's angry! And I refused. I didn't even want him a part of my civilization. I was like, to me, you're a criminal and a psycho. Get the fuck back. Like I say, I think I talked to Jackie Onassis or Jackie Kennedy, or Jackie Kennedy was going to tell the truth about Kennedy or Jimmy Carter or someone. Like I said, she went to the police department. I told her to go to the police department. I told her to report what they were doing. So they beat the crap out of her and broke like most of the ribs in her body. They took baseball bats to the poor girl. Like I say, the truth is that they knew that, like I said, they did so many things that basically Jimmy Carter, John McCain, Richard Nixon, all of them were actually handed to me at some point in time in space and taken to somewhere where they will never be found or seen again, and then tortured for thousands of years. To the letter of what I wanted them to be tortured for. At least 122. Actually, like I said, I forgot that they were being tortured out there in the universe, and they were actually tortured for about 2,400 years or something like that. just over and over and over and over again. They would bring them back to sanity, and then they would torture the shit out of them again. The cruelest thing I've ever done. I forgot about them, okay? I forgot that they were being tortured, and I was like, wait a minute. Are those people still being tortured? I forgot. I forgot that I had them and I was having them tortured. And they were tortured for about 2,400 years. I don't know what being tortured for 2,400 years is like, but basically, yeah. They're based pretty much in an unending hell for 2,400 years, where they'd be tortured to the limit of death, and then basically cleaned up. They would be allowed to rest, and then they were tortured again, over and over and over and over again. Unless they wanted to take their own life. I left them out. Like I said, I'm the creator of life forms. Other people said I didn't have to admit it. They would take the blame, or they would blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. It's my mistake. I forgot about them. So about 1,000 people, or some number of people, humans, were tortured. A lot. So, like I said, electrocution, blah, 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 blah. I eventually allowed them to have a feeding tube. They were being fed intravenously, and they could actually reach the feeding tube if they wanted to, and slowly die of exposure. So, anyway, that's why Jimmy Carter and Richard Nixon, I think I might have told them not to. They still did it. So, anyway, somebody else wanted to torture 500 million humans on this earth, or some humans. I was like, no, that's too many. I'm not going to torture that many. So, no more than 1,000 of the worst, or whatever, if it's warranted. And I was like, I'm not really into the torture thing. Later on, I think I might have disbanded it, but basically, it was one of my ideas. Mostly, I just wanted the 30 JFK clones, and basically, those particular people. Anyway, like I said, Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon, and John McCain, and even Rodney and Rick Bush knew that it was only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Even the human race wouldn't protect them. And like I said, it got to a head. They went to the future, blah, blah, doing blah, 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 check, move, all these maneuvers. And they got to the future. They had killed me, blah, 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 blah. And then basically they came up against my other life forms. And lost. My other life forms simply told them the truth about who I was and what I was. And again, Republicans, and lost again. Like I said, there is no way, and it is possible for the human race to eliminate all the life forms that came before them, especially 9 of the oldest races. Twisting of facts was the most they could do. Even Rosalie. Rodney was doing, Rosalie will rule because she's a queen, she's a woman, and he said women shall rule, so we'll just make it so she rules. But she doesn't really rule. Like I said, everyone is under me, basically, or was under me. Like I said, the human race knew me in the beginning. The most that they could do was basically kill off most of them and then try and restart them. But that doesn't really work. That's only a stopgap measure and wouldn't really solve the problem. Sooner or later, all of existence, or all humans in existence, would know the truth. It's only a matter of time. Time travel is possible. And they knew this. Now technology is possible. There are thousands and millions of billions of galaxies and planets out there. And all the stars have life forms on them. So sooner or later, the truth is going to come out about me and them and everything. Like I said, I don't hold back the truth. Why? There's no point. There's no point in lying. There's no point in doing convoluted lies and all this other stuff. It's basically pointless. Like I said, at some point in time, they sent my wife after me, or a computer that would take the form of a woman. And basically, I was going to have sex with her, but I decided not to. So she spared me. And besides, like I said, she couldn't have killed me anyway because she knew I was her creator too, or part of her creation. So Anyway, like I say, I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. And I'm just laughing. It's like, oh, and by the way, about that. See, like I say, in America or in the United States, the Republicans and the Democrats look like such good people. Kisser of babies, leader of men. But in China or Russia or some other country, basically, and this is why they didn't want photographs of them. There are certain people in this world that in other countries, they don't want photographs of them. So they banned all free speech. They banned all photographs. Which is kind of hard because I was having everything photographed and everything documented. And everybody knew that I wanted everything photographed and everything documented. So. And even more than that, I was having aerial surveys by multiple countries. So, like I say, and had a space station since 1850, which they were trying, or 18 something, which with the camera in it, designed by my German scientist, which they were trying to get to probably get the film rolls or something like that, so you wouldn't see something. Like I say, I don't know, I don't care. Technically, I was doing a documented history of this star and this solar system the entire time. By the way, they call this Sol, or the first planet, blah, 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 but this is not the first. Terran was before this one. And there's actually like 3 or 4 other planets that were very much nice before this one. One of them watched the Earth come into existence and that star and all these planets. Anyway, like I say, convoluted blah 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 blah. Like I say, just grab some Republicans, go through the White House, go through the what's called the Pentagon. Like I said, the Pentagon and the White House used to be open to the public. You could go through and spelunker through the files and just turn them back afterwards. I didn't do national security or top secret, need to know. I didn't do that. Why? What's the point? That would be something that JFK or Richard Nixon or John McCain or one of those other shitheads wanted to be done. And I get to live with the happy memory that at some point in time, Richard Nixon, JFK, John McCain, and a bunch of other people are going to be... I don't know, Coach. What do you think? He's leading the witness. So, anyway, because like I said, my life forms and me, personally, were so powerful, I could literally just pluck people out of time and space. Be like, you're coming with me. Just before the point of death. And I am very much going to do that, or someone will. Like I said, they tortured 1.5s, they tortured exoskeletons, they tortured Chinese, they tortured Germans. They've tortured so many people to try and get ahead or get one up or to keep in the very, very, very tippy top of everything, that they have done so much pain and so much suffering that someone will go and get them if I didn't. So, and like I said, they tried to muscle in on my Belfast and my Irish people. And like I said, they told me about that, how they were going to blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, you don't know the Irish, do you? You know, like I said, I love the Irish. If you knew about the Irish, you would understand that the Irish are not one of those groups you fuck with. They fuck with you. You know, they had guns. They had. You know, they've been in existence a very long time. Like you can't push them around. Like, they are a very good and very loyal and very connected group. And I love them very, very dearly. As I love my Germans and my Chinese and everyone else that worked for me. And like I said, I had most ships built. I was the one who had the aircraft carriers first. If they did anything, they were going to be using my stuff. I owned the Bismarck. And we used it to run blockades. Like I said, they were trying to force people. They were trying to make people suffer. And my Irish would laugh at the sound of the shells. Like raindrops hitting on the side of my ship. Bing, ding, 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 ding. With a 14 or 18-inch hull, she was basically impregnable to any kind of shell that you could throw at her. She could even take a nuke straight on almost. So, like I say, the Bismarck was my blockade runner, and the Irish used it quite a bit too, to run blockades and do other things, to stop them from being oppressive to people. Anyway, I don't really know. I think, like I said, my Bismarcks sat around. I had 4 of them. They sat around for quite a while, and when people ask, why do you have those things around? My Irish or me would comment, those are for special occasions. They were beautiful, wonderful ships that were really thick. And basically even a copper jet would just leave a little hole that you could plug with your finger. So you would have to have a nuclear torpedo, and even that wouldn't do more than dent it and possibly kill the crew. So anyway, like I said, me and the Irish, yeah, they're awesome. I love them. They really are. They really were awesome. Like my different groups would be defenders of the peace and protectors of man, woman, and child. You know, no one should be treated poorly. So, freedom and equality. So anyway, like I said, I was the same way with my exoskeletons and my 1.5s. And like I said, the human race very much tried to exterminate the 1.5s from existence. And my 1.5 simply responded, humans want to play. And I guess that's one way of looking at extermination. Anyway, so I'm not exactly sure what happened to them or where they are in existence. Some of my life forms were going to go nanotechnology as a race or as a life form type, basically to stop what was happening, as it was the only way to overcome something. Like I said, I have ascended more life form types than any other life form in existence. They called me the Ascender, the Civilization Master, for peace and freedom. Anyway, so like I say, good luck with that, congressmen and Republicans. Like I said, everything that they were doing, I was wondering why they were stealing so much and why they were going to such lengths. And well, this is why. Why they were trying to get time travel technology and all technology and repress so much and do so much and had done so much. I was wondering, I was like, why are they doing all this? This is weird. And that's why. Because they were lying about it, about everything. And they knew the truth would come out, and it was only a matter of time. And like I say, I don't know. You know, the funny thing is, if Richard Nixon, if JFK, and like I said, later on I realized that I had told them that they shouldn't do what they're about to do. Like I said, just like Rodney. I told him too. I said, if you do what you're about to do, thousands or millions will suffer. He knew. I gave him a choice. Anyway, I give all my life forms, or all the life forms in existence in the universe, a choice. You have a choice. Anyway, I don't really know. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. I've already gone throughout the universe. 500 deep space missions underneath my belt. I prefer the slow way. I didn't use the faster than light ships. Everyone thought I had a faster than light ship, and I said I invented them, but no, I didn't have them. I didn't really use them that much. Like, I preferred the slow way. So, and that's another thing. They were, at some point in time in space, they were jumping from planet to planet to planet to planet to planet, or trying to jump around and stuff like that. And they didn't realize they actually jumped around me, expecting me to be on a planet or expecting me to be somewhere. And the truth was, I was just happily cruising through space. They very much missed me. They could have gotten me or could have killed me several different times in my existence. And the thing was I was in transit between two planets because I went the slow way, and they assumed that I would be traveling the same way that they would be, but I never did. I did sublight speed ships, and even, I guess, powered down or powered off, because you don't thrust the whole way there. You thrust and then you kick it. So they very much missed me. They thought I was gone or dead, or they were looking all over the place for me, and they very much missed me because I was just a speck of matter cruising through the universe. They could have been right on top of me and wouldn't even have known it. They simply didn't know how or who I was, so they never found me for millions or billions or trillions of years, and even thought I was dead or gone or something or other. And oh well. Anyway, I actually use slingshot theory and stuff like that. I mean, if you don't really have a crew that's going to die or no hurry, just put them in hibernation or stuff. And like I said, I mostly use exoskeleton crews and stuff like that. Not even the human race. Just keep them in egg sacs, and then when you get to where you're going, pop them out. Dig, 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 dig. Do your mine, whatever. Crash. I have many crash stories where I would try and land on a planet. And like I said, once you know what a planet is, you can go ahead and crash on a planet and just be there until you fix your ship, and then cruise on out. I did that. So, like 500 years later, or some amount of time later, if you have the ship fixed and everything else like that, and you blast back into space, and then there's one more planet with your life forms on them. I did that. So, anyway, and they didn't even know it. They didn't even realize it. So I was spreading life all throughout the universe, intelligent, sentient, mining life, and had all these colonies all over the universe, and they didn't even realize it. So, anyway, yeah, I assume they're still out there. I'm pretty sure they went hunting for them, but I mean, which star? Which star? Where? I used to fly a pentagram, or a star shape, in the universe for a while, and then sometimes I would just see something pretty and I'd be like, I wonder what's over there. Whee! Oh, missed it. Or something like that. I don't know. It was billions or trillions of years ago. So anyway, I had nothing but time. So anyway, that's why Nixon, Trumpy, and everybody else, it's like, well, even a million or even a billion years of whatever isn't really going to affect me all that much. So that's probably why they wanted to make me into a human so badly. So, but like I say, I still spent a lot of time in space. That's another reason why they're trying to unexist me. But the problem is, like I say, is that, and another thing is the humans and everybody else was like, well, we're going to make sure you're definitely the creator, regardless, because of who you are and what you are. And everything else, and everything, because I also named America, so they were going to make sure everything was going to go my way. So, like I said, women love me, men love me, soldiers love me, everyone loved me. My 1.5s, my exoskeletons, we used to mess around, all the different inventing, building contests. I used to offer up prize money, and also photographs, too. You'd be famous, and you'd get some money. A couple $1,000, a couple $100, whatever was comparable. I'd always give you something. So, like I say, the Irish love me. The Irish used to do a toast to Lucifer Star. May your light always shine, or something like that. or Brian. Like I said, Thomas O'Brien was a great man, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, So anyway, you children can know the truth of the PT boats and the white. They're originally white. All ships were white. And then they became other colors. Anyway, I had white paint. I had paid a lot of money in directing my people because I really wanted to have pure white paint because it was something special. So, and I thought it was possible. And all paints were like a drab or darker color, and so I thought it'd be neat. And once I got it, I had it, and I was like, yes, we have it. And then I wanted white rubber, and I was going after white rubber and all that. So, like I said, I didn't invent these things. I'm not a chemist. I paid and had people and my wonderful freedom people and my people with honor, justice, and all that other stuff. And just in the name of making something new. So, anyway, so yeah. That's why I was Lucifer White Star. Like I said, some black person at some point in time would think that I was white, so I had to be a white person. So I would never be for a black person. So therefore, blah blah blah. Any god or any leader was fine as long as it wasn't a white one, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, you're gonna have to ask Papa what his deal was. I don't know. I don't understand it myself. He killed everyone at a cane factory or took over a cane factory trying to produce the stupid Ford lie or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. You're going to have to figure out your own crazy past. But if you want to know the truth, or some version of the truth, that, like I said, a lot of people said nothing makes sense unless you look at it a certain way. So, anyway, like I said, they tried to burn the films. They tried to break the slides. They tried to break the tablets. They tried to lie to everyone. So, anyway. But I kept on doing investigations and all that sort of stuff. So, like I said, the Germans were not bad people. They were very good people.